if you don't want to wreck your new Trek FX Plus Stagger e-bike. Watch this. Stay tuned to the end. We have 3 great bike tips that will help you save money on expensive repairs.
Interesting. So that is definitely a con to this bike. Wow.
It's a new bike day for me, and I just purchased an FX2 Plus Stagger. It's an e-bike, and I'm having so much fun on it. Oh my God. It's an amazing new bike. You would never know it's an e-bike just from the looks, but also it is very light and manageable. Because it's light, you're able to maneuver corners much better than a larger, heavier e-bike. I want to know, what do I want to know? I want to know more about this bike and why this bike is so great.
Yeah, these bikes are great because it's pedal assist. It looks like a regular bike. It rides like a regular bike. It's not a heavy bike at all. For the price you're getting from a big company like Trek, we always tell them just to ride it like a regular bike for the first 5 or so minutes just so they can feel what it feels like. And then we go ahead and add the assist and turn everything on. And then it's just a whole nother experience. But the nice thing is you can ride it and it feels just like a regular bike, where a lot of the other brands that are online are a lot heavier. You kind of feel like you're driving a tank. Something like this, super easy.
Yeah, that's one reason why I like it. It has 3 pedal assist levels. You don't even need to use any of the assist. You can ride as a normal bike without getting any assistance. I'll put it on if I just need that little extra boost, if it's hills, or I'll crank it up to pedal assist 2 if I need more assist getting up a big hill. So on the FX Stagger bike, the motor is integrated within the wheel, and that's called hub motor.
It's a hub-driven motor. It does have a little more weight than the mid-drives because it's all in the back. When you do buy one of these bikes, kind of like most bikes, you do get the fenders, you do get the rack.
It's a MIC rack, and it's compatible with MIC bags. You can push here, and the bag releases very easily. It doesn't come with a bag. It does not come with a Wonder Woman belt, but it should. Comes with a built-in front light and back light. One of the problems I've encountered is the wire on the back light keeps coming apart. I have brought it to a bike shop to get it repaired, but I'll have to get that fixed again.
You do have your gears up here. It's single speed, 9-speed bike.
There. It's a single gear, so it is on only one side of the handlebar. With my other bikes, it has a top tube bar, so that means you have to swing your leg over higher to get onto the bike. But because you have the step through, it's very easy to get off and on this bike.
It comes with a kickstand, hydraulic disc brakes. It's a great bike.
Let's see if you could stop quickly. Stop, stop, stop.
Okay, here's the big ass hill I'm dreading. It's not going as fast as I thought. Still a lot of struggle. Okay, I was having trouble on that hill, and I was in a lower gear, and the pedal assist system didn't seem to be kicking in and reading what I want. You really still had to pedal hard to get up that hill. Matthew says I did it wrong.
Well, I'm not going to say wrong. I'm just going to say there's kind of a trick to these a little bit sometimes, is when you go up a hill, most people put it in the lower gear to go up a steeper hill. What I found with these pedal assist bikes, if you keep it in 4, 5, or 6, or even 5, 6, 7, the harder gear to go up a hill, the battery's realizing you're having trouble. The motor kicks in harder, and it'll help you get up the hill a lot easier. When you're using the torque of the lower gear, like number 1 or number 2 going up a hill, the motor just thinks that like, oh, you're totally fine, you don't need that much help. So it's really not trying to assist you up the hill as much as if you're pedaling harder, it wants to assist more.
So you're telling me this is a smart bike?
Smarter. So these bikes are great because they get about 35 miles on a range. It really depends on the size of the rider, the terrain the rider's riding, and how much juice you're using, or the power and how fast you're going on these bikes. That really determine the mileage. Lighter rider, you're probably going to get more miles than someone who's heavier or riding up a ton of hills and using more of the power of the bike. If you're in the least amount of power on the flattest terrain as a lighter person, you're going to get the longest out of the battery. Just kind of like a car. If you take a car trip and you put it on cruise control at 65, you're probably going to get the better gas mileage than someone who's always pressing the gas, off the gas, off the gas, on the gas. So same kind of thing. So just take those mileages and stuff into consideration when buying. Just think on the lower end of it. And if you get more, you're going to be a lot happier. The really nice thing about how Trek makes their rear hub motors is it is a quick release with a 5mm tool you need to take the wheel off. So it's quick if you have the tool, but just not a flip. Super easy to get on and off.
You'll have to unplug the electrical wire. You might have to clip the zip tie that's holding down the electrical wire to take the tire off.
You can literally fix it on the side of the road the same amount of times it takes you to fix a regular bike tire. So that's the one big key feature of these bikes.
That's a good selling point. Where can you ride with this bike?
You can ride this in the city. It's a great city bike. When I talk about gravel, I'm talking about more denser kind of gravel, not loose and kind of rocky, but just more of like your city, crushed limestone, crushed gravel, stuff like that. It's great for around parks, around lakes. You can pretty much do a lot with this. That's kind of the intended use.
This bike has got a walking mode,
which is pretty cool. So when you're walking the bike up a hill, you can put it in the walk assist, and it actually will help the motor assist you walking the bike uphill, just in case it's a little too much to push the bike.
Some of the cons for this bike is that the battery is not removable for charging. You have to bring the bike to a plug to charge it. You don't like that because it's
No mechanics like this. What they're doing is they're routing everything through the headset bearings, which makes everything real nice and clean and all that, but now at some point in time you're going to need to replace your bearings. And for a regular bike it's not a big deal. For these, that's a big deal, especially since
for the mechanic. It's a big deal for the mechanic.
Well, it's a big deal for you because you have to pay.
Oh, you have to pay.
The harder it is for me to work on, the more I'm going to charge you.
Of course. I really can't find many faults with this bike. If you want to ride more challenging and longer rides, then the battery capacity and the motor power might be limiting. So I have had this bike for 2 months and I really love it. It did take me a while to adjust to my personal preferred settings, such as I needed a new saddle, I needed to adjust the height of the seat, and also the height of the handlebars. I did have to add an extension to the stem. I love it because it's lightweight, it's versatile, and it's comfortable, especially if you're in the city and recreational riding. I do gravel, like I'm on gravel right now. It works. This bike was around $1,700, and I know that's a lot of money, but you have to remember it's from a reputable company, Trek.
So Trek, especially with the e-bike models, they go through all the technology testing, like your battery is not going to explode when it gets wet, all the connections are sturdy. Trek usually uses name brand parts, so we can reach out to those brands. They give us good diagnostics when if you go to the no-name kind of Chinese brands, you can't find any parts, and it's very difficult. It's just not worth it. You'll get a $1,000 bike, and it's $250 here, $250 here, another $100 here, and then you're already at that nice value e-bike price. When if you just went to $1,000, $1,800 price range, you're backed by a decent company, and then the bike's not going to break immediately.
This might sound crazy, but there is no mandating federal standards in the specifically requiring battery safety testing for all e-bikes. So all sorts of e-bikes are coming in that are not safe for long-term storage in your garage or your house. The warranty on some of those bikes only have a year. So in my eyes, that would mean the company really doesn't believe that their e-bikes are going to last even more than a year. Trek believes that their bike will last, so it comes with a 2-year comprehensive warranty, like the motor and the battery, and a lifetime frame warranty. I do not work for Trek, and I did not get paid to say this at all. So I hope to see you riding on an FX2 Stagger. What is the proper way to charge an e-bike?
The best way to charge an e-bike, from my opinion and what we hear recommended, is charge up to 80% and then only let it go down to 20. If you kind of let it go to 0 and then charge to 100 or keep it on the charger for 6, 7, 8 hours, it's going to be like your cell phone. At a certain point, you're just going to overcharge or undercharge, and you're going to lose the life of the battery. So when you turn the e-bike on, you'll have all these 5 lit up. Now you're down to 3. Each one of these are 20%. So when you go to 80, it should be 20, 40, 60, 80. And then that's kind of when you want to be done. When you get down to one green light, you're at 20%. That's when you want to be starting to charge it again. If you go below or over a little bit, it's okay because you just can't really dictate where you're going until you look at the battery. So you might be 8 miles out from home and you're on one battery cell left. When you get home, it might be less. That's fine. Just charge it. I would start charging when you get down to 20 for 2 hours. After 2 hours, unplug, see where your lines are. If you have all 4, give it a 10-minute extra charge. And if you're still at 4, you're good. If it just clicks into 5, that means you're probably like 81, 82%. And then, just go ahead and pull it so you kind of have a nice range of 2 hours. So you're always in that safe zone for charging so you can have your battery last a very long time. And then the 3 red lights on the side is your speeds. And that's how you'll know. And then when you're done, you just hold this. And when all the green lights are off, your battery's done. The one thing I can say is when you are charging, if you try to pick the bike up and pedal and shift the motor, it will not work while it's charging. It has to be unplugged for anything to work. That's a key point. People don't know.
Yeah. Why would you not want to charge it to 100%?
Because it's like your cell phone. They tell you not to charge your cell phone 100% because after you charge it for so long, it'll literally start killing the life of the battery. So when you first get your iPhone and you charge it real quick and it lasts all night and half the day next day, and then 6 months in, you charge it and you forget that it's on the charger. 5 hours later, you pull it. You go from a day to 9 hours to like 6. Eventually over a couple of years, your battery doesn't last the whole day. Same kind of thing. So if you can do 20 to 80, you're going to be good.
So check your brake pads regularly if you have hydros. One of the issues with hydros is they self-adjust. So people being people, since their brakes are constantly adjusting themselves, they don't mess with it. So they just keep riding it. And one day their brake comes all the way to the bar. And they bring it to the shop and we pull the pads out and show them that not only are they wearing away their braking material, they just started going into the backing plate.
How would you check that?
You look down in here. You look right in there, see your pads?
See, right.
If you look here with your eyes,
Yes.
see how there's like kind of silvery, kind of a darker black?
Yes.
That silver is the backing plate. The darker color is your pad. So when it gets down to where there's not much of that and just that part, then it's time to replace those pads.
Ooh.
Say occasionally, at least like monthly, look down in there.
But that's with any bike. I mean, not this.
Yeah.
You're
Anything
not
with hydros.
Right. You're not singling out this.
No.
bike because
Anything with
just
hydros, it's just something I've noticed as a mechanic because a lot of people, like I said, they just keep squeezing their brakes.
Right.
They'll just wear them down to where there's nothing left.
Yes.
And if you do that bad enough, it can do things like it can mess up the rotor.
Yeah.
Or it can actually pop the pistons out, then you got to replace the caliper and the whole brake.
Yikes. After you make your purchase, another important thing is to register your bike with Trek. You can receive updates on the new bike accessories, also any warranty concerns. Also, I do like to register my bike on a website called Project 529 in case my bike is ever lost or stolen. They can help recover. If they don't have that in your area, I'm sure there's something similar